right, here's my number one tip for training when you don't feel like it. Find a training partner. Now, in my training life, I've gone through phases where I've had no one to train with. I've had people who suck that I train with, and I've had people who are amazing to train with. And what I can tell you is those times I've had people who are amazing to train with have been the times when I have A, had the most fun training, and B, made the most progress in my training. I went through about a year spell where I was doing Olympic weightlifting all by myself. And what I can tell you is I did make progress, I did get better, but it was a really, really hard time, and a time where I felt like I wasn't making progress. And even when I would train on days when I didn't feel like it, I just had a really, really tough time. It's hard to build yourself up when you're by yourself. So now that I have a training partner, it's made a world of difference. Having a training partner allows you to have an objective set of eyes on your training, so they can look at you, what you're doing, and say, man, like, that is not very good. You should not be doing that. They'll say it in a nicer way, but you're gonna have that set of eyes. You're also gonna have someone who is gonna be able to build you up and motivate you in the gym, which is huge. So when you're training by yourself, you might be doing something wrong for like a year and not even notice it. When you have that person there, they can watch you and let you know right away. So that's a really, really simple tip. What I would suggest though is to find someone who is at an equal level to you, or maybe a little bit better than you, as your training partner. That way you're gonna have someone who you can kind of aspire to and reach for in terms of making progress. I also have heard that if you broke your training up into thirds, you would train with people who are worse than you for a third of the time. You would train with someone who is, or people who are better than you for a third of the time, and you would train with people who are kind of comparable to you for a third of the time. That way, you're never gonna get too down on yourself if you're training with people who are way better than you all the time, and you're not gonna get too full of yourself by training with people who are worse than you all the time. And you also get that competitiveness with people who are kind of similar to you. So that's a pretty difficult thing to do sometimes, but if you can find anyone to train with, that's better than no one. And I stand by that 100%.
We live by the soul, die by the soul. If the police looking for me, I'ma hide by a broad